Welcome to BVD News Primetime. Tonight, deals, drama, and Democrats. Losing their minds, Trump's back in the spotlight.
A good deal with China, and they want to make a deal.
Simple, confident, classic Trump. And just like that, the left melts down. They call him crazy, please. They just can't handle a man who actually closes. Then there's Kamala already whispering about the big comeback.
Time to get re-engaged.
Re-engaged. She's been disengaged since day one. Same speech. New teleprompter. Maybe even a fresh coat of lipstick on the campaign bus. Meanwhile, out in Portland, remember Antifa? Their camps gone. Empty, silent. The so-called revolution over.
Adios, Antifa Plus.
This is BVD News Primetime. No spin, no filters. Just truth with a little fire on top. Let's go. We've got a BVD news alert. The president's about to step out in Tokyo alongside Japan's prime minister, and we'll bring it to you live the moment it happens. And you know what? I get why Democrats call him the king. Because everywhere Trump lands, it looks like a royal tour. This time, he touched down in Malaysia and walked straight into a dance party. Yeah, that's right. Air Force One hits the tarmac, and the music starts. Only Trump could turn a diplomatic trip into a world tour remix. Or correct me if I'm wrong, but when Obama went to Malaysia, they didn't roll out the Rocky theme song, did they? No trumpets, no fanfare, just a handshake and a photo op. Trump shows up and boom, it's like the victory parade just landed. The music fits because Trump's back in the ring, outboxing China at 47, meeting Xi Jinping and South Korea on Thursday. Round 2 could be at Mar-a-Lago, and if it is, don't expect a handshake, expect a knockout.
We pretty much agreed that I'll be going to China.
When is that?
In the earlier part of the year.
Okay.
And President Xi will be coming into maybe Washington or Palm Beach or someplace sometime after that.
Sometime after that, your 401k probably smiled. Because it made a lot of money today. Why? The China trade deal's coming, and the markets can smell it. Trump said it himself, I think we're gonna do well with China. And Wall Street just said, yes, sir.
No, I think we're going to do well with China. I think we're going to have a deal with China. We meet, as you know, in South Korea with President Xi. I think we're going to have a good deal with China. And they want to make a deal. We want to make a deal.
Trump told the world, pick a side, China or America. And guess what? The world chose Japan's rolling out the red carpet. The emperor's planning a grand dinner for the president, with the country's top billionaires on the guest list. And the new prime minister is about to buy a fleet of Ford F-150s. You never saw an F-150 in Tokyo until we won the trade war. She's no Shinzo Abe, but Trump says she's got good taste, and that's one hot truck. Then Cambodia steps up, one-ups Japan. We dropped 214 tons of bombs on them during Vietnam, and now they want to give our president a gift. Yeah, history has a sense of humor.
I have nominated President Donald J. Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. And he, like I say, peace saved life.
Trump didn't show up empty-handed either. He brought a Sharpie, and that's all he needs. Because the United States is swimming in minerals right now. The deals. Signed the numbers. Massive, while everyone else is talking about climate. Trump's out there digging up the future.
Two countries are getting along really well. Today, alongside this peace treaty, we also are signing a major trade deal with Cambodia and a very important critical minerals agreement with Thailand.
Trump didn't just bring a Sharpie, he brought the deals. Trade and mineral pacts signed across Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and even Australia. Southeast Asia, they chose America. And China never saw it coming. Beijing's been hoarding rare earths, but when Trump threatened 100% tariffs on Halloween, they blinked. Now China's buying our soybeans, shipping over minerals, signing off on it, and we're cutting their tariffs down to 40%. At the same time, Trump's running one-on-one diplomacy with every neighbor they've got. Europe's on board. The Arabs are in East Asia's aligned. Everything's falling right into place. China gets to save face. We get the deal and Wall Street. Still breaking records, inflation's beaten AI race. We're winning that too. They're not panicking anymore. They're dressing up as Trump's tariffs for Halloween. The left said he'd destroy our alliances, but the whole world's rallying behind him. And after the Arab AI deal and peace in the Middle East, even the Emir of Qatar stopped by to refuel.
As soon as I found out that he's coming to refuel, I said, I'm not going to allow him to take off unless I come and say hello to him.
Well, the Emir is one of the great rulers of the world, not just the Middle East. And the Prime Minister has been my friend and a friend to the world. And we've done a lot together especially in the last year. What we've done is incredible. Peace to the Middle East.
We've even got the Europeans to pony up on their NATO bills. And now everyone's calling Trump daddy. Only one chapter left unfinished: Latin America. That's why the narco states are getting a little taste of old-school gunboat diplomacy. We're tightening the screws on the drug lords. Maduro's feeling the heat. And Colombia and Brazil. They've been warned. We're pushing Chinese influence out of the hemisphere. And don't be shocked if something moves in Latin America. While Trump and Xi are sitting face to face, just a little flex. And you know who's losing it? The ladies on The View. They're already throwing around the D word. 6.05. All this winning's got people talking. Whispers of a third term. Yeah, apparently, the rumor mill's running hot. Some say Trump might run for vice president in 28. Then have Vance step aside. That's one way to keep the hat-trick going. Here's 47 in his own words.
You know who told us he was going to be a dictator on day one, and damn if he isn't a dictator.
Too cute. As long as Trump's headed for heaven, he's fine with just 2 terms. But the church, they're a little more worried about Chuck's chances.
You'd be allowed to do that, but I wouldn't do that. I think it's too cute.
The Schumer shutdown. Yeah, that one isn't getting Palestinian Chuck into heaven. Sorry, Chuck. I don't make the rules. Meanwhile, Trump's out there signing dozens of peace and trade deals around the world. And Democrats, they can't even pull off one deal to reopen the government. They're still suffering from ballroom derangement syndrome.
Lord, remind our lawmakers that no gold medals are given for breaking shutdown records, but a crown of righteousness is given to those who take care of the loss.
Barry had his shot to build the ballroom. Trump offered to do it for $100 million. Instead, Barry built a basketball court. So historic, what are these emperors and kings supposed to do? Play horse. And now Tim Walz's daughter says Barry's ballroom would have been chic. Yeah, sure it would.
I think to really mess with him, just name it the Barack Obama ballroom, and I think that will take care of half the problem.
So don't tear it down. Don't
more importantly, this is a distraction.
Even the Washington Post jumped on the ballroom bandwagon. They wrote, "The White House cannot simply be a museum to the past like America. It must evolve with the times to maintain its greatness." Cute, right? Translation: they love Trump's ballroom. They just don't want to admit it. And now Swalwell's out here saying, during the next Democrat debate, the moderator should ask, raise your hand if you'll destroy Trump's ballroom on day one. At this rate, the Democrats might never step foot in the White House again. The party's not a movement. It's a wrecking ball. And while they're busy tearing things down, Commie Mandami threw a massive rally this weekend. And the crowd, yeah, they didn't hold back.
If it was like the Obamas, I would be like, okay, at least what they will build will be classy.
AOC and Bernie the Burn Dog threw a little fiesta with Zorin at a real socialist soiree. Even Kathy Hochul showed up. She thought the crowd was chanting, "Let's go, Brandon." Spoiler alert, they weren't cheering for Joe. AOC was fired up, like Howard Dean 2004, fired up. She grabbed the mic and, for a second, I thought we were back at the Iowa caucus.
I thought they were saying, "Let's go Bills." I wasn't sure. I mean, when you're up there, I heard some noise. I heard a lot of cheers. But later on, it became clear to me that there is I know there's passion for that.
That girl's definitely running for president. And the commie. He promised everything's gonna be free. Free college, free health care, free everything, except responsibility.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country.
Democrats poured millions of migrants into Manhattan, and now everything's jacked up. Rent, insurance, groceries, all sky high. So here come the communists, sweeping in with their magic promises, the same ones that have never worked, anytime, anywhere. But don't worry, they swear they're not crazy.
We are going to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. We are going to eliminate the fare on every single bus line. We are going to create universal childcare at no cost to parents.
When your campaign slogan becomes, "I swear, I'm not crazy," you're already in trouble, and let's be honest, you probably are. If Democrats had actually done their job, secured the border, locked up the criminals, and stopped lighting trillions on fire for windmills, the communists wouldn't even have a crack to crawl through. They wouldn't have gotten a foot in the door. But here we are, and joining us now, Florida's own Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor, there's a full-blown socialist uprising inside the Democratic Party, and from where I'm sitting, I don't see anything slowing it down.
But we must remember, in a time such as this, we are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy. We are sane.
DeSantis, you're right. The minute this guy, Mamdani, wins, if he does and becomes mayor, he's instantly the most visible Democrat in America. Everything he does, every failed far-left fantasy he tries to roll out, will become a real-world experiment. And not just for New York. Voters all across the country will watch and realize that's what the Democratic Party stands for. And you know what? If he wins, Palm Beach real estate's going to skyrocket again. We're not exactly begging people to move down here, but let's be real, he'll make Bill de Blasio look like Ronald Reagan. Wouldn't surprise me if Xi Jinping himself shows up in Florida for round 2 of the trade talks. Everything seems to be falling perfectly into place. Have you noticed how the Asia trip's going so far? DeSantis, first off, if the president does host Xi Jinping at Mar-a-Lago, we won't have to scrub the streets clean of homeless camps and human waste like Newsom had to in San Francisco. Florida's already spotless, and people like it that way. And what you're seeing now is America tightening its ties with other Asian nations, which helps isolate China economically and strengthens our own hand in negotiations. We've got a stronger economy than China, but she's got a high pain threshold. He doesn't care what happens to his citizens as long as the Communist Party stays in control. So the playbook is clear. Build alliances, bolster our leverage, and make sure Beijing knows America sets the pace. Waters, that's what a real king looks like. A man who doesn't have to worry about elections. Maybe the Democrats should take a look east. They might learn something, but let's look south. Down in your neighborhood, the Caribbean. There are destroyers moving into position. What's about to go down in Latin America, DeSantis? I don't have any intel beyond what's been reported, but it's obvious we've seen narcotics flooding into our country from several of those regimes. The president's doing something about it. And Venezuela, that regime's been openly hostile to the United States, a close ally of communist Cuba. The only way you deal with people like that is through strength, not passivity. And most people have figured that out, especially under President Trump. Maduro's about to learn that lesson, one way or another. Waters, meanwhile, Governor... People are literally dressing up as Trump's reciprocal tariffs for Halloween. What's your family going as this year? DeSantis, my son's in 2nd grade die-hard Florida State fan. He's going as Chief Osceola, you know, the guy on horseback who throws the flaming spear right into the 50-yard line before kickoff. I might skip the actual flaming spear part, but he'll have everything else. Waters, incredible. That costume would have been considered politically incorrect a few years ago. Now he can wear it proudly. So what about you, Governor? You dressing up DeSantis? Now, I usually just play the governor. That's enough of a character for one night. When we take the kids trick-or-treating, I end up snapping photos with a ton of folks, so I try to look the part. Waters, fair enough. My family's going as the Scooby-Doo crew. I'm Shaggy.